Greetings, my lovelies. This is Ayiri, and today I am going to be starting our first video having to do with the goddess, African goddess rising oracle, uh, in tribute to the ancestors that went through the Ma'afa or transatlantic slave trade. I wanted to spend February working with my African ancestry decks, including this one and my Voodoo tarot deck. So that's something to look forward to. But first, before we go into the deep dive section of this uh, channel working, is a cleansing of my deck. So I've already gotten some lavender oil. I like to anoint my cards before I use them. And when I say before I use them, I mean every so often as the cleansing, part of the cleansing uh, process for me. I like to use smoke or light from a candle. This candle that is burning is the candle that's normally on my ancestor altar, so it's already got ancestor energy on it. This is also from my ancestor altar. It's a stick my child gave me to give to the ancestors. So there's many ways you can cleanse your decks. This is just one way. Right now I am envisioning sweeping away any negative energy from my deck so that it is new. I also like to put them back in the original order that they were originally in. And earlier in my trying to shoot this before I got interrupted, um, I accidentally shuffled it back before I could cleanse it, so I just fixed it. But either way, you could also go in, and this is what I'm going to do right now silently, say a blessing or a prayer, give an intention to this deck. And actually, I'm just going to call on my ancestors, and I am going to ask the gods the of the continent of Africa to speak to me when I go and use this deck for my own use and for the use of in helping others and helping heal and bring clarity to others that might come through. I would like to give thanks to all the wisdom that will be shared while using this deck. And Ashe, Dua, Merci, and thank you. All right. So now into the intro. All right. So this deck, like I said, is a beautiful deck. I actually, funny story, my mother got this deck years ago, and yes, she does tarot also. And she likes to use this deck when working with, like, if I ask her to do a reading, like a clarity reading, because, even readers need readers because sometimes you're just too close to the issue to feel comfortable reading for yourself at times. And that's when I call on some of the people I know that are also very talented readers, my mother being one. And uh, I'm one of those ornery people who are all like, if someone I know has that deck, I don't want it. Well, recently I went and was buying tarot decks last year, and that deck just kept coming up when I was thinking about my ancestors. So I went ahead and bought it, and I absolutely love it. I don't know why I didn't get it originally. So let's get a little bit into this deck. So this is the book, and I will be pulling from this book, obviously, because it's the book that comes with it. But it's pretty much just going to be keynotes that you need to know if you want to use this deck, so that you don't have to sit there and read from end to end this book. Okay. So again, it's the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams, and it was produced by Hay House. The copyright was 2021, and the art is by Destiny Powell. The deck covers many female divine depictions across the African diaspora, from Kemet, also known as ancient Egypt, to the Yoruba, and all the way to New Orleans voodoo, and more. It is divided into 9 sections that the author calls temples. So we're going to be working through the temples, and these temples are ancestors, conjurers, warriors, shadows, lovers, griots, queens, uh, queens, high priestesses, the threshold guardians, and that's all 9 of them. Each section or temple, it's going to consist of cards, or god, or it's going to have 2 to 7 cards in total in each suit or temple in this deck. The goddesses or African historical figures are going to be in there. So they're not all deity deities, but in most African uh, traditional religions, if you look back, a lot of them have a point where if a person who was in the flesh basically their saint, they get like a sainthood and they become deified. So if anybody knows about like Catholicism, how there's like the Catholic saints were humans who then after they died had powers to heal and things like that when people visited their graves and such, and they were supposedly great people. I'm not saying that they weren't, but I'm just saying that it's the same type concept, just from an African point of view. So let's go through these different, like a summary of these different suits or temples, okay? So, first suit is the Threshold Guardians. Those are only 2 cards. Those cards are the guardian goddesses that are meant to help when you are at a crossroads in your life, and are there to help you in making those pivotal choices when you choose to ask for help. Of course, you have to ask for the help, but they are there ready to help if need be. Our second suit temple is the ancestors. The ancestors section is 5 cards, and they are historical figures, and this temple is centered around your basic needs, so bodily physical needs. Okay. Your third temple is the conjurers, also having 5 cards in there, and this these cards represent the power of creation, manifestation, and transmutation. Our fourth temple is the Temple of the Warriors, that has 5 cards in it. And these cards represent inner personal power and standing up for one's rights. The fifth temple is 7 cards, and that is the Temple of Shadows. There are, these cards are called upon to bring up your fears, the dark feminine energies, shadow work, and acknowledgement for growth and healing. So it says shadows, but it's the shadows that bring forth the light. The sixth temple is the lovers. It has 5 cards. And this has to do with relationships of all types and passions of the heart. The seventh i- temple is the griots, and I might be saying that wrong. These are the storytellers, the oral historians of the past that spread wisdom. The eighth temple is the Temple of the Queens, which has 5 cards, and it is going to be historic rulers, and they align with one's intuition. So I was wondering when I was looking through the deck when I first got it, and I saw Nefertiti, I think it was, and I was like, she's not a goddess. No, she's a queen, and she's in the queen section. So then there's the ninth and final uh, temple, which is the high priestesses. And there's 5 cards in that one also. These are the keepers of the mysteries and the secrets of the universe. Sorry, I just ate. All right, so the 9 cards, there are 9 cards in total that are in what they consider the illumination cards. And those are the cards that come from the first temple, which is the Threshold Guardians, and the fifth temple, which is the Shadow Goddesses. And these are meant to bring out and illuminate your life, be it through perceived dark or light. Okay? So, with that, that is going to be our intro into this deep dive. And you guys have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon. Bye.